Okay. So this exam, these means what? These points is biochemical evidence. It is called biochemical evidences. And this, before this one is means we what we read analogy and homology, right? Or convergent or divergent. That is also called as what we anatomical or we can say phenotypical, right? Anatomical or morphological evidences. This one is called anatomical and morphological evidences, right? How many evidences we read here? First, fossil. Second one is we read about the embryological evidences. Third is given here anatomical and morphological evidences. Fourth one is given here biochemical evidences, right? Protoplasm, proteins, genetic codes, nucleic acids, they are same and they gives clue to common ancestry. Now next, anthropological. Now here what is given? Anthropological means what? In human made, man made, or we can say artificial. They are not natural, but human is involved. Man has bred selected. What is given here? Man had bred selected plants and animals for agriculture, horticulture, sports, or security. This time we have different breeds of dogs, right? So man breed means man is involved in breeding, interbreeding. Also we have hybrid seeds or other genetic engineering seeds. This time we use. Man has domesticated many wild animals and crops. This intensive breeding program has created breeds that differ from the other breeds, that differ from the natural breeds, right? As for example, dogs, but still are the same group, but they are present in same group only. Because they are anatomic, they are, we can say they are internal means anatomically they are same, right? They have some variation is present, but they are same. It is that if within 100 of years man could create new breeds, could not nature have done the same over million of years? What happens here? Natural means slow evolution. It took million of years, but man means in a very little time it forms a new species. Today what we use? We use genetic engineering, and we form a recombinant DNA. Through recombinant DNA we form transformants, right? Transformant, it is totally different from its ancestor. Simply it is different, right? So that means what? Man means human. If human involved in evolution, what happens? Very fast evolution. That is called anthropological evolution, right? And natural means it is the same. What is given here? Question is given, right? Have done the same over million of years? No, because if human involved in here, so means it took very less time. Least time we can say. In one generation, a new varieties come. Another interesting observation supporting evolution by natural. Another interesting observation supporting the evolution by natural selection. By natural selection. Natural selection means Darwin, right? Comes from England. So it is given, what is the example here given? It is given industrial melanism, right? In a collection of moths and made in 1850s. 1850s means before industrialization. That time what happens? White moths, they are more in number, right? Before industrialization set in, it was observed that there were more white-winged moths on trees than dark-winged or melanized moths, right? That time. Why it is given? Also it is explained why it is given. Before industrialization, what happens? That time lichens, they develop on the tree's bark. When lichens, white lichens develop. So white moth, they can easily hide themselves in white lichens from predators. So they are naturally selected. And after industrialization, what happens? Due to the pollution increase means we know lichens are the biological indicator of pollution. Means lichen cannot grow in polluted areas. They are actually sensitive against the sulfur dioxide pollution, SO2, right? Okay. So what happens after industrialization? When pollution increases, lichen are not present on the trees, right, bark or in the wall. Then what happens? These white moths, they cannot hide themselves from predators. So predator easily pick them and eat. But black moth, they can easily hide them in the black bark of trees. They can hide them. Now what happens? Just reverse. Black moth, they are natural selection, right? That is given here. However, in the collection carried out from the same area but after industrialization, right? That is, it means 1920, right? How many years? 50, 20, 70 years. There were more dark winged moth in same area as, for example, that means the proportion was just reverse. Before what happens? White moths are more, but after industrialization what happens? Black moths are more, right? And explanation is given. This is called natural selection. Not only one example is given here, right? Two different examples also I tell you. That is the structure of black moth, white moth. Now this one is black moth and this one is white moth. In white means what? It can hide itself easily, but it cannot hide itself easily. Here what happens? It can hide itself easily, but this one, because it is white moth, it's look bright, so it cannot hide itself, right? So hide itself is what? When they hide themselves according to the environment, that is called camouflage, right? That is given. Because here white lichens, their lichens are there, so it is called unpolluted because lichens only grow in unpolluted areas. But here lichens are absent because it is a polluted area. Why it is polluted area? Because lichens are absent and lichen cannot grow in polluted areas. Okay. The explanation put forth for this observation was that predators will spot a moth against a contrasting background. During post-industrialization period, the tree trunks become dark due to the industrial smoke or dust. Under this condition, the white-winged moth did not survive. Why? Due to predators. Why? Dark-winged and melanized moths survive because they can hide themselves due to the camouflage. Before industrialization set in, the thick growth of almost white-colored lichen, they covered the trees. In that background, the white-winged moth survived, but dark-colored moth were picked out by the predators. They cannot, right? Do you know that lichens can be used as industrial pollution indicator? Yes, they are called as bioindicators, right? How they are bioindicators? Because they cannot grow in polluted areas. They can grow only in non-polluted areas. They will not grow in the areas that are polluted. Hence, the moth that was able to camouflage themselves, means hide themselves, that is hide in the background, survived. This understanding is supported by the fact that in the area where industrialization did not occur, in rural areas, the count of melanic moth was low. Because rural areas, what happens? That white lichens are present because they are non-polluted. This showed that in mixed population, those that can better adapt, survive and increase in population size. Remember that no variant is completely wiped out. Some people, some organisms, some individuals, they are present. So some population is always present, right? So first example is given here. Second example is we can say for natural selection, that is we can say insecticide, that is DDT against, right? So resistance against DDT in malaria in mosquitoes, right? Initially when we start DDT spray, then what happens? At that time we think all the mosquitoes they will eliminate, but what happens? The mosquito which have no resistance variety means against the DDT, so they died. But those that time it is very less number there, so which have resistance against DDT, they survive. And today what happens? If we spray DDT, what happens? Only the mosquito which have resistance against DDT, they reproduce, and this time only the mosquito which mosquitoes are there who have resistance against the DDT. That's why today if we spray DDT, so some mosquito will die, but other mosquito they survive because they are offsprings of resistance varieties against DDT, right? Third example is there, sickle cell anemia. In Brazil means in Guinea, that a place is there, right? Here, maximum people they have only sickle cell anemia is there, right? Why? Because they cannot they have no effect of malaria parasite, that is Plasmodium falciparum. Why? Because they have sickle cell anemia. So malaria parasite cannot survive in sickle cell anemia peoples. So they survive. This is the advantage of sickle cell anemia, right? But peoples who have normal cells, they cannot. Why they cannot survive? They eliminate. Why cannot they survive? Because they are infected with malaria falciparum, that is the falciparum, right? So they not survive. But persons who have sickle cell anemia, they survive because they adapt against the, or we can say they have a resistance against the malaria parasite, that is Plasmodium falciparum. If you understand, so three examples are there: DDT, mosquito resistance against DDT. Second one is sickle cell anemia. Third is even here, white and black mold industrialization. It is called melanism industrialization, right? Similarly, excess use of herbicide, pesticide, etc. Now what happens? This is called anthropological, because here human is involved. We use herbicides, as for example 2,4-D. We use pesticides. We use fungicides. Why? To destroy the pest, to destroy the herbs, to destroy the fungus, right? Has only resulted in selection of resistance varieties in a much lesser time scale. And it is also example, herbicide, pesticide means DDT is a pesticide to eradicate the pest, right? Pest means mosquito. But what we do, we are doing the selection of resistance variety, right, in much lesser time scale. Because after then what happens? Organisms which have no resistance against the pesticides, they died. That means after then what happens? No competition is there. Only means pest who have resistance variety, right, against the pesticides, they reproduce faster, because now they have no competition, they have no struggle for extension, they have no intraspecific struggle. So they evolve very fast. That is varieties in much lesser time scale. This is also true for microbes against which we employ antibiotics or drugs against eukaryotic organism cells. Hence, resistant organisms or cells are appearing in the time scale of months or years and not in centuries, right? These are example of evolution by anthropogenic action. Anthropogenic action means man. Here I should write here. Anthropogenic means what? Man-made. Right? This also tells us that evolution is not a direct process in the sense of determinism, but it is a stochastic process. Stochastic process. Before predicted. Right? Process based on chance event in nature, right, and chance mutation in the organism, right? Okay, so these are the evidences, right? So when we consider the evidences here, what evidences we are talking about here? Look here. Evidences for evolution. What evidences here we talk? What? No. Right? How many evidences are there? First, fossils. Right? That means we can say paleontological evidence. Here we know 6 types of fossils. Second evidence is our which is given in NCERT, it is embryological evidence. Right? Embryological evidence. Third one is here. Embryological means I tell you the slits are there, right? In all the chordates, right? Tadpole is also, through tadpole we understand that amphibians, they are evolved from fishes. Third, which is given in our NCERT, it is anatomically and anatomical and morphological evidences, right? Anatomical and morphological evidences, we need what we need: homology and analogy, and analogy. Homology means which type of evolution is there? Homology tells us divergent evolution. Analogy means convergent evolution, right? We need these two things in anatomical, right? And fourth one is here. Here embryological means two scientists is given here. Actually three scientists, but two scientists, Von Baer and Ernest Haeckel, right? And Von Baer disproved the Ernest Haeckel's biogenetic law. Muller is also there, but fourth one which is given in NCERT, it is biochemistry, biochemical evidences. In biochemical evidences, we know that proteins, genes, or codes means we can say, right? Protoplasm also here, extra. These are the evidences. Fifth, okay, after then this is given about natural selection and anthropological evolution, right, in our NCERT. But some other evolutions also there, and I think which is not given in our NCERT, right? Other evidences, which are evidences, sometimes it is asked, right? So first we can say here connecting link. Connecting link. When we think about the connecting links, so connecting links means it is present between two different groups, right? Means a organisms which contains characteristics of two different groups. It is called as connecting link. As for example, some connecting links example is our first we can say that is virus, means living and non-living. Second, that is the first. Second means what? In a plant and animals, which one is there? Oh, first, so this unicellular and multicellular, we have proterospongy. It is the connecting link between unicellular and multicellular, right? Third, when we consider animal and plant, we have Euglena. Euglena means plant and animal. Third, right? Plant and animal. Then after, when we consider about the connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda, fourth one, right? This fourth one. Annelida and Arthropoda, this peripatus. It is a connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda, right? Now next one is our connecting link between we can say Arthropoda and Mollusca. We have Neopilina. Fifth one is Neopilina, that is Arthropoda and Mollusca, right? When we consider the chordate and non-chordate, we have Blenoblastis, These are all the characters we read already. Blendoglasses, they have stomachard, and first earlier it is considered as notochord, right? And also paired pharyngeal gill slits are there. So blendoglasses between non-chordates and chordata, right? Another, when we think about the seventh, it is chimera. It is a fish, but it belongs to chondrichthyes, means we can say cartilage fish, but it has operculum. Operculum, it is means operculum is the characteristic of osteichthyes. So it is the link between cartilage and bony fishes. Cartilage means what? Chondrichthyes and osteichthyes, right? Another one is our seventh, eighth. We can say ichthyofish. Ichthyofish, it is the connecting link between what? Fishes and, okay, ichthyofish not correct, but we can, ichthyofish also connecting link, right, between this fish and one, but most accurate is our, which one? It is, we can say that is lungfishes, right? Protopterus. That is called lungfishes. Lungfishes, right? Fishes and amphibians, right? Another ninth means Cymoria. Cymoria, right? These are scientific name, so we have to underline this one, right? Cymoria, it is the amphibian and reptiles. When we consider another one is Archaeopteryx, this is fossil. Archaeopteryx means connecting link between reptiles and aves, birds, aves. And last we have mammals. So when we consider the that is our platypus, right, or echidna. So these are the connecting link between reptiles and mammals. Platypus means, platypus, for platypus it is the connecting link between birds and mammals. Echidna means it is connecting link between reptiles and mammals. So these are the connecting link. Through connecting link we understand who evolved from whom. So these are connecting links. After connecting links, another thing is here. We can say vestigial organs, right? So next evidence is vestigial organs. Vestigial organs. So when we consider the vestigial organs, then what happens is human only. Can you tell me what are the vestigial organs in humans? Humans means, simply we understand. In eyes, you can see here, right? Small muscular muscles are there. These are called nictitating membrane. Ears, we have this ear pinna. Ear pinna muscles, they are inactivated. Our canine teeth, third teeth, and third molar teeth, wisdom teeth, tail, coccyx, vermiform appendix, right? Nipples in male, they are the vestigial organ human. We can see here, as for example, in humans, vestigial organs are, first we can say nictitating membrane. In amphibians they are activate, right? But we have, these are vestigial organs. These are present in the eyes. Second one is pinna, ear pinna muscles. Ear pinni, muscles, ear pinni muscles. Third, vermiform appendix. Right. Fourth, we can say here vermiform appendix, molar, canine, and wisdom teeth. Wisdom is third molar, right? Third molar teeth. Another means what? Coccyx means tail. Coccyx, coccygeal vertebra, we can say here tail. Right? Nipples in male. So these are some examples of vestigial organs in humans, right? So these are vestigial organs present in human. Presence means what? They are active in our ancestors. Means our ancestors, they have a tails, right? They have a canine teeth, right? In Python also vestigial organ means what is there? Python means it is a snake, right? Non-poisonous snake, largest snake. It has four hand means we can say pectoral and pelvic girdles. Presence of pectoral and pelvic girdles, it indicates that pathogen come from the where footed means limbic. We can say we cannot say use limbic, but a ancestor which have legs, reptiles which have legs, right? Next, our evidences is our atavism. It is called atavism. Atavism, or sometimes it is also said as reversion. What is the meaning of reversion? Reversion means sometimes what happens? Suddenly, some traits, trait means characters, right? They appear in a organisms, right, which are supposed to be present in their ancestors, but lost due to evolution, or due to the course of evolution, we can say, right? Evolution. So this time it is absent, but sometimes what is, they suddenly appears. As for example, tail in newborn. Sometimes what happens? Tails, only one tail, not tails, right? Tail in newborn baby. So tail, we know we have a vestigial organ, coccyx, but sometimes it is in baby with tail is obtained, right? When baby with tail is born, that means this one is called atavism. Reversion means it reverses the ancestors. Sometimes what happens? Big and well developed canine teeth are present, or sometimes what happens? Multi-nipples are present in females. Multi-nipples, right? Multi-nipple, this time only 2 nipples are there, the 2 breasts are there, but sometimes what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 nipples are found. That means this structure. Sometimes what happens in some persons, gill slits are there. We can see gill slits, right? If these are present in a newborn baby in some person, then what happens? We can understand that is these characters which are present in their genes. Genes means that means they are present in their ancestors. So this one is called because they are present in their ancestor, and but today they are in the form of vestigial organ. But sometimes when they activate, then it is called as atavism. In some person, you can see this penny muscles, they are activate. They can move their ears, right? So that means what? It is an example of atavism, right? So they shows the characteristics of their ancestors, right? Now next one is, how many characteristics are there? We can 4, 5, now 6, 7, and now 8. Right? Eighth one is, we can say, geographical distribution. The geographical distribution means what? Actually, Russell's Lyell, that is, we can say here, what is the name of the scientist? I forget this time. We can say Alfred Russel Wallace. Alfred Russel Wallace. It divide the whole Earth into the 6 realms. 6 means different means habitat. We can say it is not a simple habitat, but large area. All the whole world it divide into 6 areas, and these 6 areas are called realms. Right? This one is called our, you can say here, distribution. That is called distribution, right? So distribution is actually, this distribution is not a normal. It is called biological, biogeographical distribution. Evidences from biogeographical distribution, right? So evidences from biogeographical distribution is what? Who? I tell you who. What is called Russel Wallace, right? So Russel Wallace main name is Alfred R-U-S-S-E-L-L Russel Wallace, right? He divide the whole world into 6 regions. Means we can say Earth or world divide into 6 realms, means 6 areas. What 6 areas means? First one is our, we can say here, look, actually first one is our Nearctic. Nearctic means it is North America. Today it is North America, right? Second one is our Neotropical. Neotropical means South America. Third one is our Ethiopian. In our NCERT, it is even human fossils are found in Ethiopia and Tanzania. Ethiopia means what? Africa, right? Ethiopian means Africa, right? Fourth one is our Pale Arctic. Pale Arctic means what? It is Europe, biggest one, right? Fifth one is our Oriental. Oriental means Asia. And sixth one is our Australia. That is called Australia, right? That is Australia. So these are the 6 realms, right? Why these are important? Because we know, look here, two types, continental drifts occurs 2 times, right? 2 examples are given, not 2 times, many times occurs, but 2 examples are given, because we know our Earth means it is made up of 8 titanic plates, right? And these titanic plates, when they move, then earthquake comes, and sometime great revolution occurs also, right? Here, what he said here, look, North America and South America, they are different continents, right? Then what happens? They come here and join. When they join together, what happens? The animals which are present in South America, they override into North America, right? So they override. This time what happens? Now North America, they have also the animals which are present in the North America, they come from the South America. Simply it is, right? They invaded the North America. Second example is given in Oriental and Australia. So they both are a same continent at initial, right? Before the mammals are found, right? They are same. But what happens? Then continental drift is, what is continental drift means what happens? Either they come and connect with each other, or they separate with each other. So now this Asia and Australia, first they are a single continent. Then after what happens? Australia separates from Asia before the formation of mammals, right? So when it separates, Australia means it is a very big country. It is a big continent. So here marsupials, right? They develop, but mammals are very less. But in Asia, what happens? Mammals develop, and they kill the marsupials, right? And ate them. So here In Asia, this time no marsupials are present, but in Australia, this time no mammals are present. If mammals are present in Australia, they are bring to the Australia through humans, right? Or very small mammals are present. That is right. So we can say here, due to this biogeographical distribution of evidences, it tells us how the evolution occurs, right? Why Australia has only marsupials, maximum marsupials are present, not only we can say, but maximum marsupials are there, right? And why Asia means no marsupials are there, due to the genetic drift, due to the separation of these two continents, right? And when they separate, Asia mammals, they are predator, they are carnivores, they kill the marsupials and eat them. That's why today marsupials are not present. But in Australia, mammals are absent, so marsupials they influence, right? So these are some evidences. How many evidences are there? 8 evidences are there, right? Who tells us about the evolution. Okay. If you have any doubt about, in case of evolution, we can say not in case of evolution, any evolution, but mainly today's lecture is what evidences in evolutions, right? You can ask. Okay. Next point is our what is adaptive radiation. We will read adaptive radiation, and second thing is our adaptive convergent. We will read this one, adaptive radiation and convergent, in the next class, because I think today our time is over, right? Adaptive radiation means, you understand, when we consider only one means what? If we consider only one race, means group, then it is radiation, because marsupials, different type of marsupials are formed in Australia, right? So when we consider only single marsupial ancestor convert into different type of marsupials, that is called radiation. But when we consider marsupial and mammals both, right? So mammals origin is different. Same convergent means what? Origin is different. One is mammal, one is marsupials. One is placental mammal, another is non-placental, which can say marsupials, right? So they have similarities. When this that we can say mammal molds and marsupial molds, they have similarities, but their origin is different. So when we consider two radiations at the same type in the same area, then it is called as adaptive convergence. Okay, we will read this one in next lecture. Thanks.